And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the RSL, the Rival StarCraft League Season 5 Playoffs Day Number 1 co-stream. Something that I'm concerned by, actually. So for those that are curious, you know, we're jumping into our fresh series, our fresh best of 5. Usually, whenever we get a fresh series, we rotate casters. Where's Gemini? Where's Tasteless? We might just have a full night of just purely Sturgeon and State. That might be the case here, where they stay on for the entire broadcast. We'll see. We'll see. As by now there should have been a rotation. Just something that I did notice. Regardless, we're getting to our fresh series. It's going to be another PvZ, but a very different kind of PvZ. herO versus SHIN. Now, Solar, he did nothing but all-in against Classic. 2 base all-ins and 3 base all-ins. That's it. Just pure all-ins. Hyper short series in that first best of 5. We expect aggression and all-ins to be prevalent here as well, but a different dynamic. As I mentioned previously, and as we mentioned it getting into our fresh series here, in the last series Classic, he was the defender and he was trying to react. He was trying to react and respond to his opponents as best as he could, scouting and warping in units and getting his defenses up and running and trying to keep up with the army rotations of Solar. Meanwhile, here, herO, his mantra when it comes to defensive play is typically being hyper aggressive and being in your face and forcing your opponent to respond to you instead. So we should be seeing something a little bit more chaotic as well, and not just that, but also mind games. If you are maybe newer to StarCraft, you might not know this, but herO and SHIN, they're good friends. They're very good friends, and they're ex-teammates as well. And oh, are we not getting the vetoes? Wait, what? we're just jumping in. What the hell?
From patches because they were the most aggressive, but these days in CVP, it feels like you got to be a lot more aggressive.
Do we have cams?
Get damage done.
What?
Do we? All the Zergs are throwing in some kind of all-ins in their series these days.
Okay.
At least 1 or 2 aggressive builds.
We're just jumping in. There was no like introduction to the players or like vetoes or anything. Okay, sure.
Zerg is playing a lot more aggressive. The map here will be Exarch, and this time we have cross spawns.
Yeah, cross spawns on Exarch. It's going to be tough to get aggressive early on this one unless you're Protoss and you have the advantage of Warp Gate, right? Yeah, it's a very.
I would say that
the distance between the natural expansion of both of these players.
Fun fact: this is something that I've noticed as well. Is this a replay cast? Is this broadcast clashing with like the Wardy tournament or something? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, speed zones. We have speed zones and slow zones in the center, thankfully, so it looks like this is the updated version. Sorry, I'm just checking TL.
Of course, with the watchtower in the middle here.
No, there's nothing else scheduled tonight. Okay.
Yeah,
Curious.
Also, on the perimeter of the map, you see on every single edge, there's also some speed zones to make a little bit quicker.
The reason why I bring this up, often if they don't show the vetoes, and I don't know if you notice this, but they still don't have player cams, this might be a replay cast, which happens from time to time. They don't often disclose whenever that happens, but that might be the reasoning as to why they didn't show vetoes and why they're not showing cams. Is this might be a replay broadcast. But we'll see. Like maybe they show cams a little bit later. But usually that's what that means.
Something like what we saw between Classic and Solar, where Solar expanded unknowingly towards the Protoss base and capitalized on that by playing a very aggressive build with the Queen Walk. On this map, the distances now with a cross spawn, they're just too great, and so we're likely to get a much more drawn-out, epic macro game than we are to get something super flashy like that.
I totally agree with you, and I think herO is the kind of player who would just refuse to lose to 3 all-ins without trying something crazy of his own. But right now, we have a lot of Ling speed made here, as well as the Ling speed on the way. He's just on 21 drones right now, getting ready for these Adepts with the Lings. Goes back into drones now, taking that worker path down here to the 3rd base.
Can we get a shot of herO's natural expansion? Because I think he might have fully walled in his natural. I think that is a... I believe that's a 100% wall-in. I don't think you can get units in or out of the main base, which is pretty smart. If you're just going to be expanding to either the 3rd base locations, you mine that out, and then you only have one end.
Yeah, I think the exciting thing about seeing more games on Exarch and seeing more games on these TLMC maps is that these maps are often vetoed in best of 3s, so we get to experience some of these maps a little bit more in-depth, more so than we otherwise would, of course. For now, again, cross spawns, we do get our 3rd base on the right-hand side for SHIN, Void Ray opener out of herO. Very interesting.
Right now.
And then you can break the rocks later on to get out, right? If you have big units in the natural there.
I think you would just mine out the minerals. I don't see any reason why you would break down the debris here at the natural expansion. I mean, maybe if you're expanding towards the middle, but even then, I feel like it's always better to just have one clear pathway through your main base into the center of the map, right?
Yeah, there's also those minerals leading to the 4th base just above herO's main. So I guess if you mine out both those patches, yeah, you're right. There's really no need to take down the rocks at the natural at all.
Kind of.
Just open up another venue of attack for the Zerg, right?
Well, here's going to go for a very aggressively timed.
So the issue with not opening up the center does mean that SHIN is going to be able to like chip away at the wall and nibble away at the wall when it comes to the mid game, and hero's going to have a harder time rotating to defend it. That's a possibility when it comes to that cyber core. For now though, we're going to be opening up. Again, welcome to Exarch. Exarch is a 4-player spawn map. It has a reverse natural, so the wall off is going to be more exposed than usual, and that is an early Evo chamber +1 melee from SHIN. SHIN is playing Ling Hydra.
Coming out of SHIN, making a lot of Lings right now. Going to be trying to move these across the map, see if he can pick off any units. And he's got his Spore Crawlers decently timed here as well. They will be ready for the first Oracle as it flies.
We're playing against True. We have player cams.
Obviously a bit later because he went for the Void Ray first, so not expecting.
So this is where I have to say, if we have player cams, why didn't we see the vetoes? that's my question to the production. Ziggy? Yeah. I know you're listening. Esther Ziggy.
On a map as large as this one. Oh,
share map.
already some Zerglings getting some pressure done too.
Yeah, he's made a lot more Lings than usual. Going to use that to take out this pylon, get the Adept. Will be forced to run home as the Oracle turns on its beam though. But he is droning behind this. This is not all or anything. This is some
meanwhile, we do have a standard timing here with our Twilight Council Forge +1 and Blink. Everything's looking pretty standard, pretty tame coming into the mid game.
If herO were to expand to the top right side of where he's currently set up, it's hard to describe the expansion patterns on this one because even if they go by like I know it's not, none of the bases at the north side are at 12 o'clock, but it's like, what would you say, like it's like 12:30, it's like 1, it's like it's such a large map that everything just kind of gets congested there at the edges. But if herO expands on this pathway here towards this side, I feel like he could be really well set up for a macro game if he wants to go that way. I mean, this is such an easy base to take. You just get a little bit of static defense at your third base, get a little bit of static defense at the fourth base, and you have the one rally point from the natural expansion for any robotics units or Stargate units.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So what State is getting at is it's by design. By design, your initial 4 bases are very secure. Your 4 bases are very secure. Your 5th and 6th base, that is going to be difficult to maintain on Exarch because the corners of the map are so isolated from each other. Before that happens, we get us around. The Lings
might have to fight here. The shield battery finishes just in time.
catching a Stalker.
Oh
no! Oh, it's down. There's a hole in the wall.
Oh, you're kidding me.
herO.
The Adept was not positioned.
herO.
Even when you give him the free wall of the natural, he finds a way to let these Lings in.
I mean,
like
I feel like
this.
herO's blameless
He's
on this
fine.
one, though. We got the zoom in there of the Zerglings. It's kind of unintuitive when, like, the hitbox, or the collision box, I should say, with, like, the Adept body.
Meanwhile, big shout out to Luis GGG. God, my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Hope you had a great time. If you have any needles.
Their way through.
Kind of big.
Yeah, maybe. I guess you just throw down like a pylon or something and make it a more reasonable block with a mineral wall. But
The map is so open to anything. Kind of.
Too much there, and that was a lot of Lings.
it was good for him, actually.
So if you were here for our TLMC judging stream, you'll know that that was a criticism that we had about the center of the map, but that is one of the reasons why all the speed and slow zones were added to give players incentive to push through the center. Otherwise, it would only ever maneuver through the edges of the map instead. So that is something that was added and changed, provided from our feedback. So big shout out to Avex, of course, for making the map, for updating, of course, for receiving feedback, and of course, voting will soon be open for the TLMC map pool.
I think he's expecting mutas, but it's actually a Hydralisk transition coming in here for SHIN. So the one Phoenix might not be able to get too much done. Maybe will be best served by him patrolling, just using it to scout.
So hero's trying to turtle up into Skytoss. Second Stargate, Fleet Beacons on the way. Hero has yet to get a 4th though, and so far SHIN is doing a great job at being active to make sure there is no 4th base.
That's just to go for Phoenix range if it weren't mutas, or if he's going to be looking to make an air transition slightly quicker. I feel like it's the former, but we'll have to see. One Adept here going to get picked off by
It is the
these
air
Lings.
transition.
Still running around.
Otherwise, you'd have Phoenixes on the way.
On the map, actually.
Designing the 4th. He blinks in.
These rocks.
Oh no, that's not a very good blink right now for
No,
herO.
no,
It's
he
still
gets
on
punished.
cooldown. A couple
Oof.
seconds left. SHIN, just with the magic positioning there, had all of his Hydralisks at the 4th base. And herO blinked in thinking he was going to catch SHIN by surprise. Instead, loses a ton of stalkers.
And here we go. Nida Storm is on the way. SHIN is cutting workers at 72. Do you notice something? 72 workers, that is just over 3 base saturation. SHIN is going to double down. He's not taking into lurkers, not taking into hive tech. It's pure Ling Hydra out of SHIN. This is very similar to what we saw out of Solar, except Solo went for Dropper Lords. SHIN is going for Nidus.
Attack, but here come the Zealots to help out.
I see the Overlord on the mini-map right now.
So again, the 3-base ult that we saw from Solar in Game 3 against Classic is the same equivalent variation here from SHIN, except slightly different with Nidus play.
In the main base, but this map is so large, I wouldn't even mind him just dropping a Nidus here on the front door to try and make the reinforcements a little bit quicker.
So again, SHIN is all in. Remember, herO's trying to take up. He invests into a second Stargate, into a Fleet Beacon, into tech that is not going to help in the defense.
And herO's out on the map for some reason.
herO knows he's moving the units to the main base right now to try and deal with this while sending a ton of Zealots to SHIN's side. And so he will be able to deal with the Nidus network. Only a couple of Lings getting out right now. Instead, the defense is going to be all about the natural expansion and the...
And we spoke about it, right? Because of the full wall of, like, herO, he cannot defend the natural, he cannot defend the wall. SHIN, he does bust in.
Getting in here. Storm's landing on a lot of Zerg units right now.
We get some okay Storms, but there's just too much Zerg.
More. The High Templars going to be
miscontrol.
forced to morph into Archons here as all these Stalkers are going down. But those Zealots are doing work across the map. 10 drones fall already. There's absolute chaos right now.
Yeah, a lot of damage being done on both sides.
17 drone kills
by SHIN at the 4th base. herO still trying to stabilize the main base. Actually,
oh, the
SHIN
Templar
getting a
Archives!
snipe on
He
the
gets
Templar
it!
Archives.
Oh my
so no
god.
more Templar, no more Archons can be warped in here for herO.
And he gets the natural.
Zealots on the reinforcements.
Yeah, herO knocked down to 2 bases right now, so even though the work count is equal, SHIN should be out mining him here shortly. But he's going to lose a bunch of these Hydras on the retreat. Nice pickoffs by herO. And I like that choice to send the Zealots. At first I was like, oh, you need everything at home to defend.
Oh no, the Nidus network got set up in the main base. herO did not expect
Oh, there's a little bit of latency
this
here.
one, but I think that the army for SHIN is thinned out enough that he can't really capitalize on this.
Yeah, he's forced to return into that Nidus.
So as they were touching, I mean, the Zealot run-by is saving herO in this game. If it wasn't for the Zealot counterattack, then herO would be dead in the water. So again, was able to get down, what, 17 plus drone kills, so very nice damage across the map. herO is still in this game. Still in this.
If there's a Nidus network in the main base, and Zerg has that much time, every army unit that they have is
As I say that, though, the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for SHIN. Bear that in mind.
Exactly where where SHIN's army is at. And herO should know that in a head-on engagement, his army just straight up wins.
Right.
So right now, he's going to be waiting for Templar Archives to get up. I feel like you get to the first round of Templar Warpin, maybe you turn some into Archons, energy recharge the other ones, and you move across the map. You have a very clear window as herO to try and get some damage done.
Yeah, there are some Zerg units hanging out down here, trying to take out these rocks.
So, Stay, what he's alluding to is what we mentioned, how right now SHIN is ahead. And the longer this game goes on, the better it is for SHIN. herO, there needs to be some urgency here for herO to push with +3, right? Templar Archives has been rebuilt. +3 is a couple of seconds away. herO needs to push soon, otherwise that window will close, and then SHIN will be able to max out.
Yeah, units coming out for herO, right? He's getting these Tempests, he had this Mothership. But I also feel like it's difficult to push across the map with these units.
Yeah, I feel like if you move across the map, you don't really get that many chances to go back home and defend. Maybe just a recall only, as SHIN is continuing to work on the rocks here. 6 o'clock position.
And you can see that SHIN, despite all that economic damage, he's not droned. Like, he's still at 68 workers. That's still a very low drone count. SHIN is basically just gearing up to the second wave, the second all-in after the first.
There's too many cannons.
Too many cannons. Very fast pull on the probes as well. Good reflexes there by herO. Saves his workers mostly, only 5 going
SHIN's
down.
pushing into natural again.
And here comes the rest of the Zerg.
It's a lot of storms.
You do not want to run through that storm.
It's like something you'd see in like a tower defense game. It's
when
the
you're
perfect,
level 100.
It's the perfect choke
And
point.
as soon as that's revealed, now SHIN starts droning. And because this is so late, I mean, herO, he has a chance. Still has a chance.
No, I don't want to push up into that.
Is he distracted?
He's thinking about
The
it. But with
Banelings.
these storms,
He gets
doesn't
in.
want to. Does create a diversion for these Banelings to go in, though. 8 more workers fall. herO's down to 49 probes right now versus the 78 of SHIN. He's adding his Spire here. He's getting his Infestation Pit. Eventually, he can make Corruptors to deal with the air units if he wants to. And going to go for Overlord speed as well.
Oof.
Shin just continuing to poke and prod.
Now, once again, Shin, his goal here is not to break through. If he sees an opening, he will, but Storms, they just keep on storming about. Baneling run by into the base once again. Not bad connections, 9 more probe kills.
Rinse and repeat here. He keeps sending these Banelings in, right?
Well, the thing is that
they get damage.
I know he's making more probes right now, and he's on 47, but 47, I think, is enough to fully saturate everything that he's got. The main and the natural expansion are mostly mined out. herO, he's bottlenecked on bases. It's not really the workers that are the limiting factor right now for him.
Indeed, he is going to move out into the middle of the map right now.
I mean, Say says that, but here's replacing those workers. Like, he's still spending resources on that.
Templar! Shin's going
And
to
he
try to
wants a
get on top of this,
Templar.
so a ton of storms are going to rain down. And Shin has to go away. What a bizarre-looking Protoss army. I think we have more Templar than Zealots here on the front line.
10 Templar.
It looks
crazy.
so fragile, but it's difficult to attack through those storms.
There's just so much energy, right?
Right, he's been banking up so much energy. A lot of storms.
Shinny's got a flank.
I think that's the the mothership is online. Here come these Tempests now, and we only have 5 Corruptors out at the
Army's
moment.
moving in. We have to set up the surround.
Is that enough
Can
to
he
take
do
all
it?
these air units? I'm not sure.
It's all going to come down to the storms right now. herO has to make every single
there's just so
storm
many
count.
storms,
Come
though.
in, prevent these Corruptors from getting the Dream engagement. Although it seems like some of the Templates are nowhere to be found right now. 3 of them under the mothership, more reinforcing.
Max control with the Templar. They pull away.
Now Shin, he's going to move in once more.
Shin,
But
he might not be able to do
kind of
this.
makes its own choke points here with the Vespian Geysers. It's very tough
The
for Shin to find the right
storms, he's
angle.
got
The
so
Hydras
many.
are just getting vaporized.
There's high Templar remaining, and apparently that's all you need here with the air units. The Zergunists just can't engage on all these.
Yeah, here's done it. Here's done it. Oh, he commits. He gets the Templar.
All forced to morph. Look how many storms are on the screen right now, State. This is absolutely insane.
That was so much energy spent
GG,
on Storm,
GG.
and at the end of it, there just is not enough anti-air for Shin to clean it up. What a bizarre end to that game.
How did herO win that game?
That was one of the funniest looking Protoss armies I think I've ever seen. We had, when he was pushing across the map, there were more Templar.
GG, well played. Here he does break through. As you mentioned, here there was a lot of urgency on herO to push across the map. He had to push. If he tried to macro out of it, then he'd be dead in the water. He was down to 47 workers. He was still stuck on 3 bases. herO had no 4th base, but he was preserving all those Templar. He was preserving the Templar, preserving all of that storm as well. He just went for one big A move across the map. And as we tried to mention, Shin had to try to surround. The only way to engage with that army is to come in from behind, but he never did. I was a little bit surprised. The observer didn't look at it, but if you noticed, the mineral patches on the top side were not mined out, so Shin had a lot of limiting factors when it came to trying to maneuver between even his own bases to set up for a flank. So Shin, he had no flank set up. Likewise, Shin also, I mean, it took him a long time to actually decide to tech up and drone up as well. That's also true, where he was stuck on 68 workers for a very long time as well. So Shin wanted to try to end the game earlier, failed to do so, and again, couldn't quite flank the army either, couldn't collapse in from behind. GG. GG, well played. herO takes game number 1. But what a fun game, nonetheless. Again, so far, Exarch has been exciting. Exciting.
You know, the Protoss isn't looking as the base race is going on. Because there were just so many high Templar there, protected by the air units, the mothership. And you want to get your Hydras, you know, killing the air units, right? And your Corruptors as well. But so many zone-in storms, it's just very hard to engage onto. Maybe some of the forces counterattacking, some of them holding the line. Could have worked out better, but herO picked his moment perfectly there.
Rorschach
It was a
again.
very wonky army and an interesting timing on that move out, but herO knows how to win these games.
The hell with the
When
vetoes.
things get a bit weird.
Yeah, game 2 loading up now here on Rorschach. herO spawning the bottom right, Shin in the bottom left. You know, I think back to the Storm change in the most recent patch in StarCraft 2, where Storm, it now does lower DPS, but more damage in total because the duration has been increased. And it actually makes a composition like that one a lot more viable. Because if this was the old Storm...
Okay, here we go. Welcome on to Rorschach. Once again, Rorschach is a smaller map, but shorter rush distance by ground. Because of that, we expect all-ins. If you remember, Solar went for a 2-base all-in on Rorschach previously in the broadcast, and we're expecting hyper-aggression here as well. Now, Shin did go for a 3-base all-in on Exarch earlier because the cross spawns. Here on Rorschach, we're expecting 2-base play, right? 2-base play would make the most sense from both players. In terms of like 2-base aggression, 2-base tech, we'll see.
It is so much more effective than it ever was before.
Yeah, the Tempests were kind of uncontested, but they take a long time to kill a lot of stuff, and the Storms actually buy you that time, so they kind of synergized very well there. It was a wonky comp, but herO made it work really well.
Yeah, we're not going to get another game that looks like that today, I think. Certainly not between herO and Shin. So we move on to Rorschach. This was the map where Solar versus Classic earlier on today went for a really aggressive build. He took the forward third expansion here as Zerg pulled the Queens, pushed with Roaches, Ravagers, and reinforcing Lings. And Rorschach feels like one of the best maps to play that style on.
Fun of 2-base lays. I mean, we've seen quite a lot of 2-base all-ins already, so I would hope for some variety. But at the same time, 2-base all-ins are just stronger here on Rorschach. So we'll see if Shin does drone up. What we're really going to be looking for here is whether it's going to be Roach Warren first or Evo Chamber first. That'll give us a sign as to how deep we're going in and how tech heavy we're going to be.
Uh-oh.
The condition. This
There
guy
we
comes.
go.
Yeah, that's
Buddy
his boss.
system.
That's his boss.
That's the
Get back to work.
All right, herO going for the Stargate here in game number 2. Similar openings to what we had in game number 1.
Yeah, I'm curious if he'll add that Void Ray in first, or if he'll go back into an Oracle play. As the Adepts being chronoed out here to be sent across the map.
I think it's likely to be an Oracle. Thinking back to map number 1 on Exarch, I think just because of the size of the map, the window for an Oracle to actually get economic damage done is probably very small. You're more likely to find damage once you pair it up with one more Oracle and you actually two-shot drones that are either transferring to its bases or perhaps mining gas, perhaps just at the edge of range of a Spore Crawler. And so to go for a Void Ray first and just be like, oh, well, this is constant damage as opposed to the energy-based damage of the Oracle I can use this to safely establish a third base. I think it's a smart adjustment, but yeah, here on Rorschach, it will in fact be the Oracle coming in for herO. Is Shin able to pick up at least one probe kill?
Not bad.
Yeah, you called it. Oracle is on the way. These two Lings
In regards to the analysis on Exarch about the Void Ray, that might be a part of it. I mean, bearing in mind that you could also make the argument that because it's a 4-player small map, you do want the Oracle faster to be able to get faster scouting. Otherwise, there's a high chance you don't know what's going on, especially if you scout your opponent very late. So there's rationale for like kind of both options and both openers.
Shin's just continuing to drone up. He's not going for the aggressive expansion, the one that we see here that the Oracle is flying by. Instead, he's expanding linearly across the left side of the map. So that makes me think that it's not going to be one of these early pushes that we saw from Solar earlier on today.
The healing pad.
Likely to be a bit more of a macro-focused style.
We're reaching the 4-minute mark. No early Roach Horn. As they're alluding to as well, Shin is expanding away, not towards herO. So it's a much more defensive opener so far, based on the expansion location.
Oracle flying around, making sure there's no units of the Zerg healing up here. Join up with his buddy. And third base on the way here for herO. Going into the Twilight Council.
That's an early council. That's a gateway explosion. Glaives.
That's what we've come to expect.
It's looking like Glaive Adepts.
Why can't you be normal? All right.
That's 4 gateways.
Is probably,
Oh,
hang on a minute.
Oh, gets a queen. Oh, no.
Trading out for an Oracle, though, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, the Oracle actually goes down there. 3 drones.
Yeah, it's brutal losing an Oracle this early on.
Have such utility throughout the
Meanwhile,
whole game,
show us, is it Blink or Glaives? It's one or the other.
Revelations and scouting later on if there's lurkers or something.
Most likely Glaives. There it is. Glaives are on the way.
Yeah, Glaives build coming in from herO with a fast forge too. Usually you don't see these two structures paired up together, I feel like, because Glaives, they don't really care about +1 ground weapons. They're going to be two-shotting most targets regardless, the Zerglings and the drones.
I don't know why they were so surprised it was Glaives, for sure. But I do agree with State. Like, State saying that the forge is abnormal, that is true. Like, you often do not get forge alongside Glaives. It might be a fake out.
I guess they're both countered by Bailings. It wouldn't make too much sense.
Yeah, interesting choice here.
And when I say fake out, I mean that if the Overlord goes in, if the Overlord sees the Forge, then Shin doesn't think it's Glaive Adepts, and then he doesn't get a Baneling Nest or a Roach Warren. Right now, it's purely Ling Queen defense, so Shin is very vulnerable to Adepts.
His own Evo chamber right now. Layer about halfway done.
Very vulnerable.
And there's actually some Lings over here at the third base. There's a couple of Adepts here behind the minerals.
That's a standard amount of Adepts.
Nice choke there. Is that enough to think it's a Glaive build if you see 4 Adepts? Probably not. You probably need to see a couple more, but...
I feel like it is. You know, you had the first couple of Adepts to get map presence, to get a little scouting damage done, or scouting done.
Baneling Nest is on the way. Here comes herO. Here he comes. 15.
Base, it's like, okay, you've been making more Adepts. Something is certainly coming. So Shin knows this is
He's walling
on
up.
the way. Wallen with Evolution Chambers.
Fully walls just in time.
And herO's just going to pounce right on top of this.
And remember, there's one less Oracle.
Deal with this right now. The Zerglings have
He's
already
breaking through.
dissipated. Now
The
it's
Queens.
Adepts
He
versus
wants
Queens.
them.
There's nearly
He gets
enough for
one.
them to two-shot these Queens right now as more
Oh my
reinforcing
God.
Lings are going to come through.
Oof.
Shin is scrambling to set up the wall once more. But with the Baneling Nest not yet done, there isn't much of an answer here for these Adepts.
Yeah, here's been trading well.
He's going to try and run back. Right now he hasn't
And he
taken
wants
much work
drones.
damage,
He gets
but
into
here
the
they do
mineral
shade
line.
Into
Oof.
the mineral line. All the links starting to fall. Some banelings being morphed right in his face here. He's going to shade on through to the natural.
Yeah, denies the banelings. 3 drones.
So good for herO right now. There is a full wall here. So
more adepts have arrived.
Join up with these other 4 adepts.
And here is trading insanely well. He hasn't dealt critical economic damage, but there are just so many links falling. So many.
There still aren't enough lings on the outside of this wall, so it's really a difficult position right now for SHIN.
Oh, the drone.
Another shade coming through. And
no.
finally, herO connecting with some drone damage. Already the trade has been
11 drone kills. That's critical damage.
For herO.
Critical damage.
And if that shade finishes before these banelings connect, this is
no, he
spiraling
gets
out of
in.
control.
No.
Yeah, the adepts get into the main, and that's going to be it. Shin said, I've seen enough. 11 drones falling already, and that
GG, well played.
Very hard. Got so much eco damage done, and I like unupgraded Zerglings just.
GG, well played. Winding it back here. If you recall, we did expect 2-base play and 2-base aggression here on Rorschach, and it wasn't SHIN, it was herO. It was herO that was hyper-aggressive on Rorschach instead, going into Glaive Adepts. This is why, if you recall, we mentioned that the Forge there, I feel like was designed to throw off the Zerg play if there was a scout. SHIN, it took him a long time to realize what was going on. He eventually saw the Adepts, but as they were already getting across the map, he set up the wall off. The Baneliness was very late because, again, he had no idea, and we saw herO just trade insanely well. Despite that, herO didn't have that 3rd Oracle. If you remember, it died early, so this could have even been a stronger assault from herO if he hadn't lost that Oracle, but regardless, still broke through, still overwhelmed, still punished SHIN for not playing safe and not being aware as to what was happening. GG. GG, well played. Hero's up 2-0. It looks like we're going to be coming to a break. Here. Just quickly catching up in the chat. Would 2-base Muta be good on this map? Oh, most likely not. Remember, this is Rorschach is a very small map, very short rush distance by ground. So if you're thinking like 2-base Muta in ZVT, there's a very high chance your opponent is able to punish you for going mutas, especially in ZVT where Terran players can be very aggressive. I mean, I should also emphasize that you can probably get away with it at any like level of play, like you can get away with it, but at this level of play, at the highest level, there's a very high chance you get scouted and then you get punished by trying to go into muta play. You can make an argument for it, maybe not even like I'm even thinking like ZVZ, maybe you can go into like muta play, but even then, because of that short rush distance by ground, roach all-ins hit even harder in ZVZ. So it would be a really big risk, a really big gamble if you try to play muta. But regardless, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have our next game. Hopefully, we have a longer series here. Hopefully. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the RSL Rival StarCraft League Season 5 Playoffs Day 1 co-stream. It's been less than 2 hours. And we're already on match points. It's been a very short broadcast, which is what we expect in the current meta of StarCraft so far. Again, we had a 3-0 in favor of Solar previously, and now we're getting into our fresh series with herO and SHIN. Oh, wait, did I not open predictions? Oh, no, that's unfortunate. No. Hold on. Did I not open predictions for this series? If not, I do apologize. Let me just double check. Yeah. Oh, boy. There we go. My apologies. So I guess predictions will be for the remainder of the series. So if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets as we are jumping into game number 3. Let's go.
We have herO in the top left and SHIN in the bottom right. And the question on my mind right now is SHIN going to be aggressive in this game? Maybe looking at the Solo Classic series, how successful some of those Roach Ravager Queen pushes were? Or is he going to kind of stick to his game plan here, go into the mid game, go into his layer tech, and try to play a longer game? Feels like against herO that's pretty tough.
Oh, early drone scout coming in by SHIN.
So
could this potentially be for a third hatch?
Proxy hatch.
herO's natural expansion.
So getting into this here, welcome to Attorney's Edge. The rush distance by ground can be short depending on your expansion location. SHIN moves out with the drone. I'll push back against what Surgeon was saying in the sense that like, SHIN gonna play macro. SHIN didn't play macro in game 1. Remember, it was a 3-base all-in, and it almost worked, right? Like SHIN was killing herO. He was killing the expansions. herO was forced into the all-in. herO was on 47 workers. So I would just want to put that into some context because like game 1 was looking in favor of SHIN, but towards the end it was SHIN being late to drone, being late to tech, and being late to kind of set up for the second stage of that kind of game. After he had dealt critical damage, he forced an all-in and he wasn't ready for it. For now though, SHIN does go for the hatch block on the low ground, and herO goes for a very mature response. We'll get into it.
hatcheries are only blocking things. And so I have expected herO to pull some probes,
No.
take down the hatchery, and then just quickly expand to the natural expansion, knowing that he's safe. But herO, being herO, naturally does the opposite. He throws down his second gateway. He's now building Zealots. This is likely going to be 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts moving across the map in just a couple of minutes. And I wonder if SHIN is going to be able to defend, because this can certainly deny a third base of SHIN, but it might even get some damage done in the natural expansion of SHIN.
Yeah,
So very quickly, State, he was theorizing like, oh, you know, he thought that herO was going to pull the boys to deal with this. It is the incorrect, or I say incorrect, it is the least efficient thing to do to pull the boys. This is the most efficient thing. Get a second gateway. Get a second gateway, get a Cybercore, make 2 Zealots, make 2 Adepts, force a cancel, deal with this hatchery, and then counterattack. The reasoning for this is because, yes, your Nexus is going to be late as a Protoss. That is true, but you're going to be forcing out a bunch of Zerglings from the Zerg player. As State was alluding to, because you have so much army supply this early on with your 2-gate opener, you're forcing less drones and more army units out of your opponents, and you can also have potential to trade well as well. The downside, of course, is that herO's base is going to be delayed, but if he had pulled the boys, he would have had even less mining than 1 base saturation, right? He would have had extra workers off the mineral line fighting the hatchery that was never going to finish anyway.
Down here to maybe make one in the near future, but these Adepts are in production, and I mean, we have 10 Lings and 2 Queens right now.
So SHIN has to take this seriously.
Not going to be available just for the moment. The Adept Shade into the main.
Cleave's getting canceled
We're
right
getting
now.
us over the Queen. Can he get it?
Going to work on the Zerglings, onto the first
he
Queen.
weren't.
Now they're going to pull back. We have 2 more Adepts reinforcing in just a moment.
2 drone kills so far.
And SHIN's in an awkward position because he knows he needs to pull the Zerglings into the main base, because if those 2 Adepts get into the main base, too many drones are going to fall. But then it means he doesn't have enough in the natural expansion to actually clean up this force.
Yeah.
And here behind this is expanding, but the fact that we have 4 Adepts right now is crazy.
Yeah, he gets a Queen. Massive pickoff.
Very bold maneuver as these
Oh, can he
Queens
get
are
it? I
actually
spoke too soon.
both full. Does not shade into
He
the
does
main,
get a
just-
Queen.
Okay, that
He gets
one
the other
goes
Queen.
this way on red HP. And this is amazing. Shin's just droning through this, by the way. This is so bold. We're relying on these Queens and the Zerglings, but these Zerglings starting to get shaved off. Finally, speed is done. And now these Adepts have to make a decision.
Well, there's an Oracle on the way. I don't know if they do. I think you might push in here. There is 1 more Queen for SHIN. That's going to complicate matters a little bit here for herO.
That Queen is still very low for SHIN. We shade into the main. The Oracle's coming in.
Shading into the main base right now. We do have a Spore Crawler in the main.
Hero's getting out of hand. He gets a Queen.
He gets
it.
the Queen in the
He
natural
shades
expansion.
down.
The Adept's still fighting damage in the
Oh
main
my
base,
God.
Sturgeon. And now the natural's exposed.
This is too much.
Drones starting to fall.
This is just too much damage. It's too much damage. 4 drones going down. 2 Queens went down. More drones are falling. And do we wrap up the broadcast in another 2 hours? Do we wrap it up? This is game ending. That's 10 drones. Ooh.
So
Oh god.
It's a lot of damage done. herO is pulled ahead in workers right now, 28 to 21.
Yeah, this is critical damage. 13 drone kills. This is unacceptable at this stage of the game, at this level of play. Losing 13 drones, that is brutal.
Have 3 oracles. I mean, what a perfect early game for herO. It is not easy to finesse this much damage out of a gateway unit start like that.
15 drones going down in total for just 2 Zealots and 5 Adepts. I mean, hero's just so far ahead right now. 33 pros to the 27 workers, and still 3
he's not even got the
Oracles
Queen.
on the field
He
to
gets
take out
another
Queens, take out
Queen,
drones.
and another
That's it.
GG
That's just
gets
gonna be it.
called.
GG.
Wow.
We've been live for an hour and 40 minutes.
I got to take notes on that one. That was the perfect defense of the 3 hatch before pool with one of those hatcheries proxy. I don't know why I can't speak suddenly, but I'm at a loss for words, I guess. But that was so well done. Usually it's 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts. It's kind of a similar defense to what you would do like if there was a 12 pool, right? Where you got to get some units to defend the 12 pool, and then you have the bonus as Protoss. You can move across the map. You can deny a 3rd base. You usually can't push into the natural expansion. But the starting in the main base and 2 more Adepts from the gateways means that herO had just enough firepower to get into the main base in the natural. With the Adepts, with the Shades, with the Oracles, everything fell apart.
Yeah, I was looking at Shin's droning during that game, and he was droning as the Adepts were killing all his units. I was like, you need some more Lings here, right? But
Yeah, I think he was just expecting it to be more of the standard response. It's 2 Zealots and 2 Adepts.
I thought the Adepts were going to go home at one moment.
Yeah.
But hero's like, no, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I will back up what they're saying in the sense that I mean, I don't know, because I'll be honest, even if herO didn't go for the Oracle follow-up, like he still would have dealt critical damage, right? Like the Oracles allowed the game to end then and there, but herO was already doing quite a lot already with the Adepts, which was crazy. And I would agree with what Surgeon pointed out in the sense that SHIN was being greedy. He was droning up too soon, right? He was droning up too soon. We were trying to emphasize the fact that when you do see a 2-gate follow-up against a proxy hatch block, you need to respect it. You need to respect that as a Zerg player, because you're defending pre-link speed, and you're defending with a very limited amount of production as well, because you're on 2 bases. You're on 2 bases, you have a weak economy, you have limited queen production, you don't have link speed. Like, you need to respect it. It doesn't feel good. There are some Zerg players that in that position, they just respond with a spine crawler. They get an early spine crawler at their natural, or they produce extra Zerglings as well, one or the other. But here SHIN, he did drone up a little bit too early, a little bit too soon. But not just that, like, it was also just really rough positioning with the queens, right? He lost, what, 2 queens very early when it came to that defense, and things just very quickly snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played with that herO. He will claim the 3-0. He will claim the win. And with that, 2 3-0s here back to back. Solo non-stop all-ins against Classic. I will say that we had more of a back and forth. I would say that herO versus SHIN was closer. I know the score doesn't reflect that, but game 1, I feel like was SHIN's game, right? Game 1, like, SHIN was doing everything right up until a certain point. Like, obviously, we were being critical of the fact that SHIN took him a long time to make the decision to drone, right? He committed a little bit too hard after the first wave into the second wave. It took him a long time to realize that he needed to drone up to get a secure economy, to be able to build up and to be able to outpace his opponent, to be able to outpace herO. That did not happen, or it happened too late. It happened too late when it came to the droning in that first game on XArc. For me, that was like the game of the series. Sorry, the game of the broadcast even was herO versus SHIN on XArc. That was maybe, in my opinion, the most entertaining game. Outside of that, though, pretty straightforward for all the other matches. And congratulations to both herO and Solar for advancing on, as they're going to be facing off against each other in the up and coming days. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up here for the broadcast. We're going to be back tomorrow with RSL Day 2. RSL Day 2 of the playoffs, and we'll be back tomorrow morning with KSL. The KSL is going to be tomorrow morning. RSL Day 2 is going to be tomorrow evening. Again, we have broadcast after broadcast. Bam, as you can see here, un momento, you can have a look at our schedule. Bam, you can have a look at our schedule here. We are here on Friday evening. This is our Friday evening broadcast. Tomorrow, we have KSL and RSL, and Sunday is the GSL semis and finals. We livecast GSL for those that are curious, so there's no co-streaming for that. We just straight up livecast it with a clean feed, but bearing in mind, we do livecast GSL on Soup, not on Twitch. Not on Twitch, not on YouTube, because Soup is organized and run and funded and all that by Soup, which is another streaming platform. They do, of course, force all live coverage to be on the Soup platform, and VODs are available 48 hours later. So 48 hours, 2 days later, is when we do have the rebroadcast of the VOD on Twitch and YouTube. So just as a heads up, that's why typically we have the rebroadcast a couple of days later. It is mandatory that we cannot show that VOD until 48 hours later. Until then, it is exclusive to Soup. So if you want to watch it live, it's going to be on Soup. If you want to watch the VOD less than 48 hours after the fact, then the VOD is going to be on Soup as well. It's going to be 48 hours later, when then we do reveal it to Twitch and YouTube. But yeah, again, that's going to be over the weekend. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Hopefully day 2, hopefully day 2, we have a more dynamic RSL broadcast day. That is the hope, at least. What are the upcoming matches, actually? Hold on. Un momento here. So day 2 of RSL is going to be, let's have a look here, Clem versus Rogue and Bunny versus Lambo. Ooh, I think that Bunny versus Lambo is going to be a lot of fun. Clem versus Rogue, I'm very concerned about that one. Like, we've seen them play in recent times, and Rogue has had a really hard time against Clem. It's a best of 5, anything can happen. I'm hoping for a series, I'm hoping for a back and forth. I know the people like making memes about like Match Changeling, but Rogue hasn't gone Match Changeling in like a year, unironically. Like, it's a style that Rogue popularized for like a little bit in the meta, and then very quickly fell off. It very quickly fell off, and hasn't really been prevalent even in Rogue versus Terran matches. But I'm hoping to see some fun games tomorrow. Just catching up as we do have STC Grail. God, thank you so much for subscribing to Twitch Prime for 39 months. We're about to wrap up. Just catching up a little bit further in the chat as well. Catching up. Wouldn't know what SHIN would do, but SHIN was shaky based on the first game. For sure. I mean, again, SHIN, like, he was ahead in game 1, right? He was ahead in game 1. It was just the follow-up. The decision to macro and the decision to drone was a late decision in game 1. But regardless, GG, well played. With that, so we are wrapping up for the day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for some more StarCraft, whether it's KSL or RSL or GSL, all the SLs, all the all the SLs are over the course of Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Otherwise, you can support us via Patreon. You can follow us on YouTube. VODs are available instantly, or they're available instantly on YouTube for the most part, except for GSL. So check us out there if you wish. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Bye, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.